What's happening? I'm Funny Food Guy, and this is how to make a Minecraft server for Bedrock and Java, so they can both play together. So to start out, we're gonna download Java 21. Make sure you download JDK 21 and not 24, because Geyser, the server that we're gonna be using to run it, actually the paper server that we're gonna be using to run it, runs best with JDK 21. So we're gonna use that. And you can check to make sure you're running JDK 21 by typing in Java space dash version on your command prompt, and that's how you can check what version you're running. So we're gonna get that downloaded. I know a lot of people are already gonna have that done, but just to make sure everybody's on the same page, we're gonna download that first. Now we're gonna make a folder, and we're gonna just call it Minecraft Geyser server, just to keep everything nice and neat. We're putting it on our desktop, but you can put it anywhere you want on your drive. That's going to be where we're going to be running our server from. Now we got to download Paper MC, and that's going to be our server. So you download that jar file, and then don't run it until you put it in that folder, or wherever you want it to run, wherever you want your server to run. Put it in that folder and then run it, because it's going to make everything for your server wherever you run it at. So we're running that now in the Minecraft Geyser server. It's going to make a bunch of folders and files, and then you just got to wait for it to finish running, and then you got to edit the EULA, change that to true like any normal Minecraft server, and then we're going to edit the properties. So in the properties server properties file, we're going to change enforce secure profile to false, and that's so that people playing on Bedrock Minecraft can still send messages in chat in game. Everything else, that's all up to you. You can change them to be whatever you want. I changed my game to hard mode, as you saw. I changed my level name to funnyfoodguy.com. Level seed. Please support the channel. It would mean so much to me if you supported the channel, either by liking, subscribing, or even going and buying merch. We're going to change the max players to 100. Have 100 players in there. MOTD, that's the message of the day. We're just going to change mine to Funny Food Guy. I don't really care. Funny Food Guy server, I should say. That's better than just Funny Food Guy. Now, port. This is real important. Real important. If you take anything from this, take this, please. Change your port. Don't leave it on the normal port unless you want random people to just join your server. I changed mine for Java to 40,002. You can change it to whatever you want, but please don't leave it on the default server, because random people can and will join your server. I've had it happen to me. It's crazy. But I haven't had anything like that happen ever since I started using a different server port than the default one. And that should all be good to go now. You could save that. I'm just checking to make sure everything's all good, and close that. Now we're gonna run the server again, just clicking that jar file, and that's gonna make us some more folders and files. But now the server's actually up and running. We're gonna close that, and we're gonna make a bat file. Alright, so just make a new text document, call it whatever you want, start server, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter, but make it .bat, and then you go in there, edit in Notepad or whatever you like editing your files with, type in Java dash XMS. This is important actually. 1 gigabyte should be your maximum smallest allocated for RAM, and 4 gigabytes should be the largest allocated for RAM. And the reason for this is in Bedrock, if you're playing with people playing on console, anything higher than 1 gig or max 4 gigs, their game's gonna lag real bad, and it's not gonna be fun for them. So just keep it out the smallest 1 gig and the max 4 gigs, and then you type in dash jar paper, whatever your paper, jar file is the name of it. Type that in, and you can now run your server using that bat file. But it is going to bring up a second window, and I think that's pretty annoying. So you know what we do about that? Yeah, you know what we do. We add an argument to our bat file that just says no GUI. That's all you gotta do. And I'm going to have all these arguments for your bat file in the description, so you can just copy and paste it from there. And I also have links for all the mods and whatnot that you need to get your server up and running the way I got mine running. It's all in the description. And now, as you can see, our server is running, so we're gonna go test that out in Java. And because Paper is running on Java version 1.21.4, we have to install an older version of Minecraft, 1.21.4, for now. Eventually, once we get VIA version installed, you'll be able to run any version of Java down to like 1.7 on your server, and that's all gonna work. As well as Bedrock. Bedrock will be able to play on the server as well with Java players. So we're just gonna make sure that this server is up and running correctly for the local host. So I'm just gonna call mine Funny Food Guy local host. And the server address is gonna be localhost 40,002, because that's what port we put it in on our server properties. Bing bang bong. Looks like it's all running properly. We're in the game, no problem. Alright, so now let's get the rest of our server installed so we can get Bedrock on here. So we're gonna go get Geyser MC, and that's how we're able to connect to the Bedrock players. Anyone playing on Bedrock Minecraft. And so you can just either click the link in the description, or you can look it up, just Geyser MC. Get that downloaded. Once you get that downloaded, all you gotta do is put it in your plugins folder, in your server folder. It'll already be there. It'll already be made up when you ran Paper, the Paper server. It makes the plugins folder. So you gotta let that download and whatever. I don't know what it does. It takes forever to download jars. Not even download, but to get them so that you can copy and paste them. It takes so long. I don't know what it does. And then you gotta go download Floodgate. So you gotta download Geyser and Floodgate, both for Spigot / Paper. And then again, you just put it in the plugins folder. And we're gonna boot our server up, and that'll what do you call that? It'll make up some folders and files for Geyser MC. Once that's done, we can close that and go edit the configuration files. And as you can see, there are some warnings, but by the end of this, we're not going to have to worry about anything. It's all going to be running just fine. No warnings, no nothing. But the way you fix that is with VIA version, as it said. So we're going to bring that up a while, and then we're going to go edit our configs while we wait for them to download. So we're going to go to plugins, and then we're going to go to Geyser MC, or Geyser Spigot, I should say. First we're going to go to Floodgate. You can change the prefix, because Bedrock players are going to have a period in front of their name when they join your game. But I would leave that there so you can tell who's playing on Bedrock, who's playing on Java. And if you do get rid of it, it can cause some problems. So it's probably better just to leave it with the period prefix. and there's not really anything you got to change there. But you do have to copy the key.pem file, and you just copy that and paste it into the Geyser Spigot folder in your plugins folder. And now we can change the config for this. The first port is going to be your Bedrock port. It has to be different than your Java port. We're going to call ours 40,001. It could be whatever you want. And we're going to change the MOTD, message of the day. We're going to change it to funnyfoodguy.com, and the message of the day to support the channel. Help me out. I beg you. I would really appreciate it though. All you gotta do is like and subscribe. If you learned anything at all during this video, please like and subscribe. It would mean so much to me. And if you want to support me even more, you can check out my website, get some merch, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you, but I would really appreciate it if you would support my channel. And then you go down here, change that port to your Java port, and ours is 40,002. And then there's some more settings down as we go. I turn off the coordinates for Bedrock because I don't like seeing coordinates. I don't think most people do. You can change the players, but since we made ours 100, we're going to just keep that at 100. But we go find show coordinates, and we're going to change that to false. And then we're going to go down and we're going to find the one that allows achievements for Bedrock, so people in Bedrock can still get achievements on our server. So you go just change that Xbox achievements enabled to true, and we're good on that. So then you can save the file, close all that, and it's good to go. Alright, now we just gotta get VIA version installed and a couple more things, and our server is just about ready to go. So we're gonna download Paper, VIA version. We're also gonna download VIA backwards and VIA rewind. We gotta download all of them because then we have the most compatibility. And then people playing whatever version, even if it's real old, they can still join our server. And I mean, why not? It doesn't cause you any issues. If people want to play old versions, let them. Who cares? That's their decision. But then yeah, you can play with like any version almost. Back to 1.7. Before 1.7, I don't know if you can do that, but at least up to 1.7, you can play with anybody. So now we're gonna restart the server as we've been. Then there are some settings you can edit inside of the VIA version config folder. You can change what versions you want to support, if you want to go back farther or not. I just allow all of them because why not? Who cares? It's not my problem. But you can change that if you want to, like, not allow whatever version. But I would definitely recommend getting all VIA version, VIA backward, and VIA rewind. Sometimes it can be hard to find the updated version because a lot of sites have older versions of VIA version. But the way you can always find the most up-to-date version is going on the VIA version website. Their legit website, that'll always have the most up-to-date version. And up there, that's where you change the versions that you want to support. But I just leave mine blank so it lets any version that's able to join. Alright, so we got that installed. That's all running properly. Now we gotta get into the big stuff. Port forwarding. Getting your server online so other people can join you. So I gotta do a little bit of a process because I have a router in my room and then I have the modem, a second router modem thing. So I have to port forward twice. The way you go about port forwarding, you go to advanced setup, port forwarding, port triggering, FTP, and then your server IP address. That's going to be your PC IP address. In a bit I'm going to show you how to find that on the command prompt. And then you just hit add service. I'm going to call mine Minecraft Geyser Bedrock, and this is for the Bedrock one. We have to make two We have to make one for Bedrock and Java. So this is the Bedrock one, and it's going to be TCP and UDP. And the port is going to be 40,001 because that's what we made our Bedrock port. And then you just got to make sure everything's set up to your IP and whatnot. And then that's done, and we're going to make the Java one. The Java one's like the same exact thing, just using the Java port, which for me, is going to be 40,002. This is how you check it. You go to command prompt, you have to run it as an administrator, and then you type in ipconfig, and then you scroll down, find where it says Ethernet adapter or whatever, and then it's going to be the IPv4 address. That's what you're going to want to use. I have 2 Ethernet cables, so I just use the first Ethernet cable, but most people only have one. Depends on what you're running. You type that into your server IP address for port forwarding. Get that all set up. And most people, this is going to be the last part. You're not going to need to do the second step. But I have to do 2 steps, right? Because I said I'm using this router in my room, and that's connected to another router, the modem. So yeah, just type in 40,002, bing bang bong, and that's all done there. Now I have to go to my second router login page, and for that one I gotta go to FiOS, log in there, and the way you port forward twice like this is instead of now using your PC's IP, you have to use your router that you're already port forwarding. You have to use that router's IP, and then it's still gonna be the custom UDP, TCP, and then your port Bedrock's gonna be 40,001 for me, and then I gotta do it a second time for the Java one. It's gonna be TCP, UDP, and then 40,002. And now that's all done. We are now online. Other people can join our server if they have our IP address and port. So we're gonna go test this, make sure it is all up and running. We're gonna test it on Java. I think we're gonna test it on Java first. Yeah, we're gonna test it on Java first. And we did have to install the older version earlier, 21.4, because we didn't have VIA version. But now we got 21.5, so we're going to be able to see if VIA version's running properly. So let's see if it's running. Ooh, I forgot to start my server. Don't forget to start your server. Nobody's going to be able to join your server like what just happened to me. So we're going to start that up, get that running, and we're going to see if it is running. So the local host is running just fine. Now we're going to type in for our online server, I'm just going to type in Funny Food Guy Online. And the server address, you gotta find your IP the way you find your IP address. I just go online and type in IP, and then the first site you just click on, it should give you your IP. You just copy that, paste that into your server address, and then you add your port with a colon, and then 40,002 for Java for me. Right here. Can't see it because I censored it. We got 40,002, and it is online, running just fine. Alright, that's all running. Let's go check if the Bedrock works, if Geyser is doing its job. We haven't checked Bedrock yet because we haven't had it online, and I'm not sure that you can go about joining that when it's offline. So let's see if it works. We're gonna hit play. Add server. You gotta just type in your IP, whatever. Server name. We're gonna call it Funny Food Guy Online. Port. You need to remember our Bedrock port's 40,001, not 40,002. We gotta be careful with them ports. And it looks like we joined just fine. But as you can see, I am not using the skin I should be using. That's what I should be using, but I am not using that. That's the skin that it's giving me. So we're not going to be able to completely fix that problem, but I am going to show you a way that you'll be able to use your Java skin on Bedrock. So we're going to go get that done right now, but first we're going to download auto updater for Geyser MC, so that Geyser MC updates automatically. That way you're not always going to the Geyser website downloading new versions of Geyser every week. It's really annoying. So this will take a lot of hassle away from your life. So you just copy that into your plugins. That's the Geyser updater. You don't gotta worry about going and updating Geyser anymore if you got that running. And now for the skins restorer mod. This is gonna make it so that when you're in Bedrock and it doesn't have your proper skin running, you can change to your Java skin or anybody's Java skin. Ugh. You can type in anybody's name in Java, anybody's like account name, and it'll change to their Java skin. So we're gonna restart our server, get all these new mods folders configured and whatnot, and then we're gonna edit them configuration settings. It's gonna be pretty simple, except for the skins restore. That's kind of a pain. You're gonna see why in a little bit. So once that's all running, you can close that again. See, you have to consent. You have to consent to their mod. All right, and the way you do that is going to the configuration file in skins restore. Now, it took me a very long time to find it, so I fast forwarded a little bit. But it says, I can't even remember what it says. You gotta copy and paste like a line of text. We'll see what it says here soon. Loo, I got some apples. Loo, you got some too. Loo. Alright, there it is. It says, I will follow the rules. You have to copy and paste that in between the parentheses right there, and then save it, and you never have to touch that file again. You can close that up. Bing, bang, bong. Now we're gonna go to the auto updater mod so that your server updates automatically properly. So the first thing we're gonna do is change that to true auto update Geyser, because you want it to auto update, right? Why else would you get that mod? Auto restart server, true, so it runs properly. Auto script generating, true, so that it can restart properly. And you're done. You don't gotta edit that anymore. We're pretty much all good to go if you want to leave it at that, but I'm not going to leave it at that. There's not much, but there's a little bit more I want to show you how to do, because a lot of people don't know there's some other things you can do, because I know a lot of people don't like having their IP address as their server address. I mean, who would? And I don't see much of anyone talking about how to change that. So I'm just going to show you how to change your skin right now on Bedrock. You get in there, you type in /skin, and then whatever name you want to change your skin to. I'm going to change mine to Funny Food Guy, and I just changed it to my Java skin, as you can see right here. Alright, that worked. Everything's working very well. But now I'm going to show you how to change your server address from your IP address to a domain address. So if you have your own website or anything like that and you run it through Cloudflare, you can change your Minecraft server IP address, or just Minecraft server address, to your website address. And the way you go about doing that is you go to your DNS settings and you gotta add a new record, an A record. And I made mine shop.funnyfoodguy.com because my website is hosted by a third party and something messes up, when I tried to just run it at funnyfoodguy.com. And the IPv4 address is going to be your IP address that you look up just online when you just type in IP. It's going to be that address. And make sure when you do this on Cloudflare that you do not check off the proxy with Cloudflare. You cannot run this with a Cloudflare proxy, or you won't be able to join your server. It will not work. So make sure that box is not checked off. It has to specifically be not proxied through Cloudflare. It just has to link to your IP address. But this does not make your IP address secure. It does not hide your IP address. It just makes it easier to join on Minecraft because you don't have to remember a string of numbers. But it does not hide your IP address. They can still find it if they want to. It just is going to be a little bit more difficult than if you were just handing out your IP address for your server address. So it is somewhat better than just using your IP address for your server address, but again, it's not going to hide your IP. It's just going to make them have to do a little bit of work. So as you can see, I just typed in shop.funnyfoodguy.com, port 40,002, and it is running just fine. We're in the game right from there. Bing, bang, bong. We're going to go check to see if it's running like that on Bedrock, and I'm sure it is. And now, if you don't have your own domain, if you don't have your own website, I'm going to show you a second way to have a custom address, or if you're really worried about your IP being shown in any way, this will also work for that. But we're going to do that after I make sure this is running properly for Bedrock, and I'm sure it is. Port 40,001, shop.funnyfoodguy.com. Yo, you can go to that website. I dare you to go to that website. I triple dog dare you. You can't go back on that. Alright, that's all working just fine. So this is the second way you can go about having a custom server address in Minecraft, and that's noip.com. Just make up an account, go to my account, go to DDNS and remote access, and then you go to noip hostnames, create a host name, call it whatever you want your server to be called, and then pick out a domain from the list, whatever you like best. I like ddns.net. And then for IPv4 address, it's going to be that IP address that you find when you just go online and type in IP, like I showed you at the one part in this video. So then you got that all set up. That should all be running. Now I'm going to show you how to connect to that. It's going to be the same way as if you were using a custom domain. So if you remember, it said funnyfoodguy.ddns.net, and that's going to be our server address. But I'm going to show you right now that you can run and load up Minecraft 1.7.2 and still connect to the server. Now, because that's such an old version of Minecraft, my skin that I'm using will not show up when I join the server. It's going to just be the Steve skin. But I'm still able to join it and play on it no problem on version 1.7.2. As you will see here in a bit. So we're going to connect to the .ddns. We're going to just call it funnyfoodguy.ddns.net. Server address is going to be funnyfoodguy.ddns.net :40,002. 40,002. I don't know why I picked that. I just did. Who cares? Join server, bing bang bong, we're in, no problem. And I'm Steve. I am Steve. Alright, and I'm going to show you one thing that I like to do just to make things a little bit nicer. I just make my Server.bat file, I pin that to the desktop so it's a shortcut, and I change the icon of the shortcut. I have some icons made up. I change it to an icon of my brand, Funny Food Guy. You can change it to whatever. You can also just use one of the default icons or change it to one of the different icons that are already there. It does not matter. I just like using my logo because it is my logo. Alright, there we go. Apply, and we're good. Now you can start your server just from that shortcut. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to make yourself an OP on your server, and all you got to do is type in OP, whatever your username is, on the server prompt. So if you do that though, and you just type your username, if you log into your server on Bedrock, it's not going to OP you. And that's because you got that dot in front of your username. The way you OP somebody playing on Bedrock is they have to join your server while your server is running. And then after they join, even if they leave, if they join when your current version of your server is running, your current server, if they join while it's still running, you can hit OP dot whatever their username is, and that'll OP them in Bedrock. But as you can see here, I just OP'd Funny Food Guy, my normal Java account, and I'm going to join this on Bedrock, and I'm not going to be OP. I'm going to just try to go into creative mode. It's not going to let me. It's not going to let me go into creative mode because I only OP'd myself on Java. But once I go back and OP myself as .Funny Food Guy, I will be OP'd in Bedrock, and I'll be on creative in Bedrock. And the cool thing about this Geyser server is you can OP someone in Bedrock, and they can go on creative mode after being OP'd, and they can still get achievements on creative mode. So if you want to have an easier time getting some achievements, you can go OP yourself and go into Bedrock and go on creative mode. As you can see, I typed in op.funnyfoodguy. Now I'm going to be OP in Bedrock. Let's see if it works. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. Game mode, creative, and I'm on creative. Alright, well that's going to be the video. If you liked it, if you learned anything at all, if it helped you with anything, please support my channel. Like and subscribe. Get some merch if you want. Whatever, I would really appreciate it.